I can hear you fine. Can you hear me fine?
Totally fine. Everything good.
Right, we're live. Hello again.
Hello again. Yes, everyone. That was a bit of a mind blow.
Random.
Weird. I don't know what happened there.
Let's wait for everyone to jump on, and
Yeah.
we will bring up what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, I think we restarted from the beginning. If you're like, oh, so that's better. So yeah, that's I can hear you clearly now. Nothing.
All I can hear is that bird in the background.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I shut the windows.
He's just bought a new bird.
Yeah, desperate.
Yeah, right. So let's start again. Hello, everybody, to Hustle Hair Podcast.
Yeah,
today's episode 8. Yeah, episode 8. We were talking about this yesterday, weren't we? And it was like episode 8, and they were like, "How long have you been doing it?" It was like 8 weeks. So yeah. Last week we didn't do it. What were we doing?
Bank holiday, and we missed it.
Why did we?
I don't know what happened. I just said, "Oh God, what happened there?" Do you remember?
Yeah, I can't remember why we missed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we missed it. But now we're back, and we've been together this weekend. We've been in London this morning and yesterday, and we were at Colour World. So we want to talk. First topic we want to talk about is Colour World, the event. Second is we want to talk a little bit about the new Joico news, which is happening, and then we want to go on to hair trends, because I think the hair trends that
big ones blowing up, right?
Things are blowing up. Yeah. I put a video.
Really good ends as well. This is something you really get your teeth into, I think.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a cool one to look at. So so a couple of things. Colour World, discuss what you think. It was my first visit. You've been there many times before.
Oh, it was, yeah.
How did it compare to previous years?
Different. It was different.
What way?
Still as hot as ever. When it's Colour World weekend, the weather is just absolutely scorching.
Somebody said that. They said that every year the Colour World is always like a hot weekend.
Yeah.
It's like hot. There's like really hot people there. But actually, they meant it was hot physically because the sun shines.
Yeah. Absolutely roasting. And every time I've been there. So yeah, I did the first one in 2019. It was me and Larissa Love. And we did that.
There now, are you?
No.
It was me and Larissa Love. And
next one's a name drop. The second one I did was with the current British hair colour technician of the year, Dan Spiller.
Yeah.
And then I went this time as a guest. Yeah.
No, but Paul, you got something brand new I can see just over your shoulder there in the background. What is that thing?
That there.
Yeah, go get it. Go get it.
No, let's get it.
This is really cool. Look at this. Colour World, Colour Genius.
There we go.
So Paul Watts wins. Paul Watts takes the win.
The Colour Communicator Genius category.
Yeah. So that was like, you weren't expecting that, were you, to be honest?
No, I wasn't. And I was saying all over, like the night, I said, I think my BHBA video is better. Just because of what the content that was in it. But then like Vicky Brown said, yeah, but I think this video that you've done for Colour World suits Colour World. And you said that as well, how it was sort of tongue-in-cheek on some things. And I'm going to be releasing the video this week, my entry video. And it was something that I really enjoyed editing.
Yeah, it was really good. And like, bizarrely, when we were watching it, and I think I pointed it out to you at the time.
Twice, yeah.
We were in a bit when they were playing it. We were in that busy bar, right? And they were playing everybody's videos, like all the entries in your category were having their videos played, on like a loop thing, right? And actually, as soon as your video come on, like the whole place went quiet.
Yeah.
And everybody turned to look at the video, while pretty much they were talking over everybody else's. And I was like, I pointed out to you at the time. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I said, mate, you noticed it's all gone quiet. And then literally when yours finished, the noise grew again. I was like, wow. That's like, it's got everybody's attention. So I saw it from the off. I saw it before you entered it because you showed it to me. I was convinced you were going to do well because I thought it was a cool video. I can't wait for you to share it this week. It's going to be really good. But it was really well deserved, mate. You really do. Should be really proud of that. I know there's other things to do, and you're one of those guys that yeah, I won it. Oh, great. Now on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But actually, it was nice this morning because we managed to have a good chat this morning at breakfast.
Yeah.
And to take it in a bit. And I think maybe being with us being together made you celebrate it a bit more purposefully, I think, rather than, oh, well,
Yeah.
you know, like, and not because you're being blasé, it's just that it's done. I'm moving on to the next thing now, which is what success looks like, really. But sometimes you got to celebrate the wins as well.
I know. I was saying that's a really bad trait of mine.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a bad trait. It's just a trait.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be necessarily bad. It's just a trait. And a lot of successful people have that, is that they create the success they want, then they move on to the next level, or they move on to the next project, which is what you're relentless, you know. And what I've learned in my years of hairdressing, I've probably like almost, that's what I've got over a lot of people, if I got all that experience, is that experience has taught me to actually to take the wins and celebrate them. You know, like my family, my wife's family, actually, I mean, I always say they will attend the opening of an envelope.
Yeah.
You know, if one of the kids, my mother-in-law, my wife is one of 4 children, and my mother-in-law, if one of the kids does something which is, you know, pretty good, there's a family celebration. And so there's a family celebration every week for everybody who's done something really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing, mate. It really is. And I think it's something to be learned from that. And I think you could probably take a bit of that thing as well, to take the credit and then move on, but at least spend 24 hours enjoying it, you know?
Oh, for sure. I mean, well, yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it that I won. I was 100% sure someone else was going to win it. I thought I obviously didn't see the other videos, but I thought
not until just before it was announced. Anyway, we didn't see the other videos.
Yeah,
really, to be fair, they were all really high quality. They were video entries, and I really thought everybody did a great job. But yours just grabbed attention, and when the whole room went quiet to watch it, I thought, yeah, that's the effect, you know, they had. That was really cool. So, so Colour World, so it was different this year. Why was it different so much?
Location was different. It was a smaller venue. There wasn't as many rooms. Very intimate. I suppose that was. I mean, it brought everyone together. It definitely brought everyone closer, and you didn't have to go upstairs, downstairs to see different things. You could be in one place and like literally do a 360 and see everything that was going on. So, no, I enjoyed it. I just think there was just like, it will just grow, won't it? Because obviously, like the first Colour World in the old place started, and it developed and developed and developed. But yeah, I mean, when we were saying about the weather, it's always hot. I suppose that can go against it as well, because it creates so much heat in there, and there's everybody. Then they go outside and there's no air, so it's like, oh my god, like there's no shade. But no, I thought it was good. I really liked this. Like I liked how when you walked in, it was just like hair.
I just. For me, like, there was a hair event, there was loads of finishing, there was loads of all the products. What I'm really impressed with, actually, so you think about it, is like probably 15 years ago, when you went to like see a hair show, you would always focus on the stylists. So stylists, now cutting hair, and then let's bring on our colorists. They can tell you a little bit of the color. Yeah, and very much color was almost a bit part player, whereas now, especially in Colour World, obviously.
Yeah,
the title gives it away, Colour World. You know, colorists are front and center, and I think in the industry over the last 10 years, they have now become front and center. Colorists are now the people to go to. You know, not so much about cutting skills; it's about your coloring skills and what you're able to do that way. And I think, you know, big up to the colorists. They've really worked hard and earned it. And there's some amazing, talented colorists out there now, isn't there? You know, and to have a platform like Colour World, then I think that's great, because there were so many. Like, every brand was a L'Oreal, Matrix, was a K18, that K18, K18. They were there. There was Schwarzkopf. There was
Rico, obviously.
So, you know, there was every brand was there, and they were all doing like really good things. We had Lee Shaw working for us with the blondes, and we're going to come on to in a bit later. And also we had Dan Spiller, the British Hairdressing Colorist of the Year, was there representing Joico, doing it, and they did great jobs. You know, it was incredible. You know, in such a tight atmosphere, in such a tight space they had, and they did a great job.
Yeah, I think when you were saying about like color has become king over cutting, I was talking about this a little while ago, and I think it's the way that coloring has developed. So with cutting, like it was scissors and razors, and then the introduction of like thinning shears, and then there's a few other things now. But color started off with a brush and a cap, and then obviously it developed where foils and then mesh, but then freehand and balayage boards, and that's what I think has really defined and made color grow, because it's not so like put a crochet hook in a cap, and then it's everybody's personality now that comes out in color. And I think that's what's elevated color, not better than cutting, because cutting there's always been that fluidity to how people cut hair.
I think at the moment it's like the industry's gone to like 70-30, 70% color, 30% about the haircut, whereas before it was completely the reverse, and if not more so, where it was like 80%, 90% cutting, and
90% cutting, wasn't it? And then the color was like, what did you do? Oh yeah, thanks, you did some highlights, and then that was it.
Hi Mark, it's nice to have you back.
Hey,
things that we've just resolved the issue. Oh my god, can you imagine? Got the audio fixed. Oh, nightmare. It really took us out because we were off to a great start, we thought.
Well, yeah, I know it was over the 20s instantly for viewers, and obviously the algorithm has seen us jump on again and sort of knocked us down. But hey ho.
But color was really good. It was my first time there, actually, so it was nice to see colorists work. It was nice to see like different brands and how they work as well, and how they present themselves, and how they kind of what they are doing. I mean, there was a lot of vivid colors out there for me. I think I said to you at the time, I think I can see the technique and the technicalities, how good that you have to be to do that.
Yeah.
It does, actually, for me, it doesn't do a lot for me as a hairdresser. I kind of like, I don't want to have such vivid, and I understand placement, I understand, but I still like beautiful hair, and I like it to be like,
for me, mate, as a colorist. Like, I'm not into vivid.
I like editorial stuff to look, great, expensive, nice, not just colored for. Sometimes it's colored for the sake of being colored, if you know what I mean. That's a bit controversial, maybe. And I understand it's fantastic talent, something I couldn't probably do, or it'd have to take me a long time to learn.
Yeah.
But I think that there's the vivids, like, I get it, but it's not in my kind of wheelhouse, if you know what I mean.
Well, no, and I suppose the reason vivids have become so successful is because the longevity, the low maintenance of them, they fade off very quickly, and you can change it very quickly after one service. Whereas if you go from brunette to blonde, red to whatever, it's a long time to get to where you want to be when it comes to appointments. Whereas with vivids, you can pretty much do a vivid transformation to another vivid in an appointment.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes, true. So Colour World was really good, really successful. Good catching up with people.
Yes,
well represented with Lee Shaw and Dan Spiller. They did a great job. And well done to you, mate, for your winning your award. That was, like, for me, that was the highlight of it all. Like, especially the fact you didn't think you were going to win it. But so it was great. And it was like so well deserved. So well done for that. So
thank you.
News. Dun, next item.
Joico news.
In Joico news, what's the big news, Paul?
Well, we spoke about it again like the other week. It's the new Blonde Life range, and there's the new Lumi 10s as well. They've just launched this month or last month, mixture of both because of deadlines and that. But I just wanted to really big up, after seeing it all at Colour World, I wanted to talk about like Blonde Life and how, if you are a non-Joico user, if you were looking for a range to really make your blondes different from what you're doing at the minute, you could just get this tiny little range of Joico Blonde Life and bring it into your portfolio.
Yeah,
that's something that's really special, in the sense that it's been customized as an entry kit into a salon. If they do a lot of blondes, really high level blondes, clean blondes and everything, and they're really, or you're really looking for something that will really help elevate your blonde work, the new Blonde Life range with the quick toners as well, toning in up to 5 minutes, under 5 minutes, silver, sand, violet. We've got clears. and then the new demi liquids, but also the developers, they've added like coconut, and coconut oil has been something that's been this fad since they were putting it in, like they were cooking with it, and that was sort of healthy. And then it's just really moisturizing, so it's been incorporated into our developers to make them even shinier, and obviously the original Joico
combination. Yeah. So one of the things that we talked about this weekend, especially with the launch of so as you know, I got my new project starting probably next month, and I'm going to be start coloring hair again, like, you know, and I wanted to go and actually spend more time with blondes. I'm going to be coloring my own clients, just revisiting the way I work really, and I'm going to be doing a lot of my own color.
Yeah.
And so I said to you, what would you say I should use as a kind of a colorist who was coming back into the fold of color really?
Yeah.
And you recommended Blonde Life, the new Blonde Life, and you said it's because it's a small range. So as a new person to color, if I was being introduced to blondes and the Blonde Life system, what advantages am I going to have then using that?
Hey Jess.
Hey Jess.
So the advantages of using Blonde Life is it's just a small range.
So how many lifteds I've got? I know I've got obviously the highlighting powder. Is it the Blonde Life lightning clay as well for freehand stuff?
Yes, you've got the powder, the clay, and the cream.
Yeah.
You've got a 5 volt, 20 volt, and 40 volt.
Yeah.
And then you've got quick toners, which are sand, silver, and violet, and clear.
Yeah.
And then in the new demi liquids, you've got 8N, 10N, 9SB, 10SB, 9V, 10V.
What's the SB?
Silver blue.
Silver blue, not beige.
No, not that go against your oranges.
So if it's really red, I would use the SB then, yes, because it's silver blue.
Red, orange.
Orange, yeah, you know what I mean. If it's like really warm, I would take it that way, yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so that'd be like, and I can use the developers with the lifting and for the toning
and depositing. Yeah, so you got your 5 volt demi, which is for your liquids and your quick tones, and then you've got your 5, your 20, and 40 for your powders and clays and creams.
Okay, and when would you use the 40 over the 20?
40 would be with the clay lightener.
Right. Okay, because that doesn't lift as high, but still higher than the previous product. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 levels of lift. That is, I've got it up there. 7 levels of lift, and because it's open air, you just need that little bit more power, and that's the reason, because you're not incubating it with any foil or anything like that. Then you just need that bit of a push from that 40 volt.
Yeah. Okay. There's a good question here coming in from Mark. Actually, no, it's not the most popular color brand in the UK. I think it's growing really well. We both work for Joico Europe, Middle East, and Africa. That's I work for them as a stylist and guest artist. Paul works as a guest artist for color. So, but it's certainly growing, Paul, right?
Yeah, it's growing, and the reason I like using the term underdog is because you get a lot of hype around big brands and big companies and corporates. Whereas I still see Joico not as a corporate sort of level. I see it as a really sort of boutique-y range, really cool range. But the big thing for it that it has is that it was the first to have a Plex, quadramine complex. Our ingredients were the first of their kind. Yeah. And we just haven't shouted about it enough. And this is why we want to use our platforms to really talk about Joico news, and just tell you like the benefits of it. Like,
Joe just sprung to mind. Have you seen the film Dodgeball?
Yeah.
Well, you've got Globo Gym and you've got Average Joe's.
Yeah.
The underdog story.
Yeah.
And all the big brands are like the Globo Gyms, but yet there's something really honest and really about Joico and the way it works and how it goes about its business in a very, very understated way. And you're right. One of the things we fail to do is talk about the technology that's involved, especially like quadramine and the new sort of the new quadramines, if you like. So when we talk about quadramine, we're talking about amino acids, and hair is made up of 19 amino acids. And so Joico created a product called an ingredient which goes into all of the color and all of the styling products. It's called quadramine complex. It is the exact makeup of hair, 19 amino acids in the correct molecular weight and size. So the size molecules in those amino acids go from 150 right up to 2,800. And as a result, and everything in between. And Joico's formulations are put into such an extent that you're repairing hair with hair, really. Exact thing. The hair will take exactly
thing, isn't it?
And gets rid of it. And I remember being, my story about it is when I was introduced to Joico, honestly, I went to a seminar. I didn't really want to be there. I was sent along. I did it as a favor. And I went there really negative, sat in the front, listened. And I'd been hairdressing at that point for like 30 years. And then I listened to the story about Quadramine and the hair repair system. And I was literally on the end of my seat thinking, why has no one told me about this before? Like, I felt I'd been sleepwalking for 30 years. And I've used it ever since. And like, nothing compares. And we were talking to a few people about that, the plexes and stuff like that this weekend. And actually, if you added the plex to Joico's color, or to you actually dilute the technology, which is like unbelievable, because most plexes go from some 1,500 to 2,500, or from 1,000 up to 2,000 or 2,500. But they don't cover all the molecular weight and size, which is kind of, we cover everything. And that's why it's been, I don't know how many years it won. It was like 15 or 16 years on the bounce, Paul, right?
Yeah, then they had to change the category because we just won it every year.
We could have won it every year because nothing compared with it. And some of the plexes are really, really, really good, and people really rave about them. But the people who rave about them have never experienced a plex, So it feels amazing, but we're so used to that now. It's like it feels normal to us, but actually what we have is way better, way more intense, way more conditioning. And so and that's why I love it, really. And I love that story. I could tell you thousands of stories about the 4-step hair repair system, that especially on show work and stuff and working with models, it just saved the show. It's unbelievable. Don't talk about it enough. So we got the blondes coming out. That's a line you would recommend, and to a non-colorist like me, you would say that's what you would take it forward with, yeah.
Yeah. So you were talking to me yesterday about what with you moving into color again, what would you do for blondes? Blonde Life is a no-brainer, and then we've got Lumishine. Lumi 10. Now, for somebody who is going to be doing grey coverage roots, and it will be like one to one.
What are you trying to say? What somebody's doing? What are you trying to say about me and my clients?
No, but that's what we were talking about.
You're just a bit older. Is that what you're trying to say? You're insinuating, mate.
Nah, but that's what we were talking about, wasn't it? Yeah. And I was thinking, like, we've got UFlock, we've got Age Defy, but then I thought about Lumi 10, and if you're doing that one-to-one service, which you'll be doing now, you want to be doing your roots in 10 minutes, and with lift as well. So with Lumi 10, we've got lift, we've got deposit, all in 10 minutes, and with the new Joico News, we've launched a new copper in there as well.
What in Lumi 10?
In Lumi 10, the NC. I
did not know that. Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it?
Well, it's the NC. So you can mix it. Not mix it. You can marry it with the Lumishine like demi liquids. So if you're doing, say, you've got 7NC client, you can put your roots on 7NC Lumi 10, and then you can do your
refresh.
Yeah.
Ah, so the demi liquids, they are like mixed with 5-all, right?
Yeah,
5-all, and they are like a refresher, really. Then, yeah.
Well, refresh, toning, like depositing. So I'm a real demi colorist, and if I don't have to use permanent color, I won't, because again, we were talking about it earlier. It's a case of when people are wanting a change, if we're having to be breaking down permanent color all the time, it's harder. It takes more of our time. So if I'm breaking down a bigger molecule, which is much easier to get out of the hair because I'm using demis, then I'm going to go with the demis, and then I'm going to be able to transform clients easier, quicker, and more frequent.
Yeah, I've got you. Yeah, I've got that. So what in the demis? Have you got like cool reds? Have you got like the coppers? Have you got, or is it limited line?
No, Lumishine Demi Liquids. You've got the full range. So you've got Ns, NWBs, NCs, NVs, RRs. Was it CCR?
RRs, is RRs in there as well?
Yeah, RRs. Yeah.
And you just mix that with like with
I
5. Is it 1-to-1 or 2-to-1?
1-to-1.
Wow. Okay. And they're the bottles, right? The demis.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Did not know that.
So
that's my preferred option. Really, it's always when I do roots is instead of like you'd always do a drag through really.
Yeah.
But actually, if you use a demi liquid on top, you get you get the condition, you get all the benefits of actually using the demi liquid.
Yeah.
And also the application makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
That's a really cool way of doing it. I think that's amazing. I love that.
With the Lumi 10s, what I think Joico have done very well is they've looked at the colours which are used most. So you've got Ns, NWBs, you've got NAs, you've got NGs, NVs, and the NCs.
Yeah.
And I think that covers, I suppose the only one they're missing, but I suppose it's maybe not possible, is like a RR or a BA or a CC. But because that's like, there's no, what is it? There's no base in them.
No.
I suppose being a Lumi 10 where it's like up and then straight in.
Yeah.
Maybe you couldn't use those molecules or pigments in a 10-minute color. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I might be completely wrong, but I think the way that Lumi 10 is going, where you're working with your like your bases and blends and tones, I think that's a great way to go.
Yeah, that makes complete sense to me.
Yeah.
Me and you must need to talk more, Mr. Watts.
Yeah.
I love that. I really like that. It's giving me a lot of food for thought. As I say, as somebody's going back into colour, that really is giving me, so that I look forward to looking at the new demis and stuff like that. And also using, I know there was a bit of a worry about the Lumi 10s because people thought they went darker. But actually, you said it gives lift as well, doesn't it? Deposit.
Yes, there's a level of lift. I think it's 2 levels of lift. I think. Yeah. I mean, it's been so long since we did that.
I understood it was 1 level of lift. No,
is it 1 level of lift?
Yeah,
I can't remember now. 1 or 2.
But would you recommend that you would start that if you were doing and you've gone base? If it's like somebody like me who's not so proficient of application, if I was working on a base 5, I'd apply a base 6, for instance.
Well, yeah, at the back maybe. Yeah. And then when you get to your front, use your desired level.
Okay, just mix up pressure and put a slightly different level at the top then, yeah?
Yeah, or level 6 at the back, level 5.5 at the front. Because then if you're going to put a gloss through mid-lengths and ends, that might give you a bit more, like a bit extra 10 minutes. So then you can refresh all.
Awesome. Got you. Yeah, got you.
But yeah, if you like, to recommend to someone who may be new to Joico as taking on a range, but maybe you can't hold a lot of color, our Vero color is a very, very small range, which is completely intermixable, 100% gray coverage. That's a range. But if you're thinking, oh, I do roots a lot, like say you do a lot of root melts, a lot of gray coverage and blondes. So you could look at U-Flock as your gray coverage. You can look at your demi liquids as your like mixing and blending. Yeah. And then you look at your Blonde Life for toning. That's a really small, compact range to be able to get your 100% coverage, 100% blend and tone.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. We definitely need to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all that.
Not that we don't talk enough, but yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So that's been really good. So we want to move on. I think we've almost exhausted that one. Let's go to the next subject. This one is a banger.
Hair trends, yeah. So what we were looking at this weekend at Colour World, again, we've seen a lot of Vivids. Vivids are still massive in relation to stage work and like pow in your face sort of color work. But there was a lot of beautiful blondes.
There were. And there was a lot of like vanilla-y blondes as well, like those dusky pastel blondes, they weren't just platinumed out, they weren't just silver, there was a lot more tone to them and subtlety to them, I thought.
Yeah, very soft, very wearable.
Yeah.
There was some silver blondes. There were some silver blondes there, which were really nice because silver blonde is.
If you went back maybe a year or two, it was all silver, wasn't it?
All silver, yeah. There was people wouldn't dare put a golden blonde on stage because it was like, well, that's yellow.
Yeah.
And it's like they're just not.
Yeah, but you can see now there's becoming like almost like a pastel palette being used in blondes. So you are using more yellowy tones. I hate the word yellow, but more warmer tones then. Something that's making hair look almost more healthy, more natural. And those are things I noticed this kind of on this trend really.
Yeah. And talking like Mark's just said, I love silver blondes. Wait till you see our new toners. I hate saying that. Our new demi liquids that are coming. Yeah. We've got platinum violets. We've got gold violets. With the new colors that are coming. They're in America right now. So Mark, if you want to try some bits, head to like what is it? I can't remember where they are.
Distributor.
Yeah, not a distributor. It's like Sally's, I suppose.
Oh yeah, you go to your local warehouse or your local supplier.
Yeah, you can pick them up there. But the new colours from Joico for silvers and everything are unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree. And we did see them when we were in Holland last time, I think. Yeah.
Mm.
Amazing. Okay, cool. That's like a win. Yes,
it is. I didn't know you were Joico, Mark.
That's insane. That's really good.
I don't think he used to be Joico because he started at a new salon probably like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was a Joico salon. That's amazing.
Yeah, cool. That's excellent. This is one of our crew. The other thing is that big ones kicked off for you this last 24 hours, 48 hours. It's going to be insane on your YouTube.
Yeah,
and that is the curb cut.
And we spoke about that. What was it? 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago we were talking. Well, no, actually, I think it was episode 4. We talked about episode 4 or 5. We talked about the curb cut. So yeah, 3 or 4 weeks ago, or 3 or 4 episodes ago.
Yeah. Please do, Mark. It'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, we'd love to see that.
And also, Mark, what we would love to do is when we're in the States, potentially do an education session at the salon.
Yeah, that's kind of that's been in the pipeline for a little while now, Paul. Right?
It has, yeah. We're just working it out.
Yeah, we're close. I mean, prior to lockdown, we had it all sorted, but then lockdown came and changed everything. But I think that's the next thing. Really, we are going to take it on the road and take Hustle on the road and take the color cut content concept on the road as well, and share that as many people as possibly can.
Yeah.
And we've got venues coming up in Ibiza, in Dubai, where we'll be doing the full-on, hands-on experience for 10 lucky people who get to come along with us and join the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're planning, Mark, we're coming to the States. Yes, that's the plan. We've already got great contacts there. We've got great rapport with some of the Joico artists and some of the distributors there we already speak to on a regular basis. Yeah. And so, yeah, the plan is to come over and do some sessions. Paul and I wanted to do some stuff for content for both our YouTubes as well. And at the same time, deliver some really first-class education that we in Europe get here, which may be slightly different to what you get in the States, but we want to give you a different flavor, really, because we've had all the American artists here in the UK. So it'd be great for us to do the reverse trip and come to States and do a European job there. That's
I mean, Mark, with your salon then, if you could let us know sort of like size and how many people it could hold, what we're trying to find, and this is same we're trying to find some salons around the States, which we could do a little road show, and what we're going to bring is cameras and everything like that. So we're going to create a video at your salon that you guys can use as well for content, but we want to deliver an education session, and that's ideally like Joico salons. That's what we want to hit, and we want to be coming and showing you guys what we do in Europe, and just having some fun with it as well.
Yeah, and understanding what you guys do in your salons, how you deal with your customers, then giving you like a European twist on it to show you that, okay, taking your influence and again, you're taking the influences you give us, and then showing how we would translate that into a European look.
Yeah.
Which I think was really good. So the Cup, Paul. So tell us, so you put out a video, we talked about 3 or 4 weeks ago. You put out a video this week. Or was it yesterday? Yes, first thing yesterday morning?
First thing yesterday morning, I put the Cup
cut. How many views has it had?
tell you now.
Last cut was 30-something thousand, right?
Well, when I last checked just with you a minute ago, it was 30,000. So
yeah,
it's probably going to be something around about 32,
that. 33.
Let's have a look. My phone's just, because I've just turned it on. It's so 33,000. It's gone up 3,000 since 10 in an hour.
Yeah, 35, 40 minutes ago. Yeah,
yeah,
that is banging. It's a great haircut, and you did it with the ponytails, right? You were showing how to the section pattern with your ponytails.
Yeah,
that's been really big for you, though. That's been really big for you, right? The ponytail haircuts.
Massive, and it's because I break it down so simply, and like you being a cutter, like when forward graduation is a beautiful haircut, no matter what length we take it to, because you get that shape around the face, we get those bangs, and then we can layer, and then we put a length in, and that is what most of the haircuts that are trending: butterfly, wolf cut, cub cut,
all face framing.
All face framing and all
color right now. Color's doing the same thing as well, isn't it? That's all face framing colors as well too.
Yeah.
So that's quite good. But I think that the cub cut is really something that's moving forward. I think that is one of the biggest trends. I think and it does look fantastic. It's so wearable, it's so versatile, and so many people. It's suitable for so many people by just adjusting the length of the fringe.
Yeah.
Or the bangs. If you make the bangs, like take them up or down, depending on face shape, then you could get a wearable look with the same technique for so many people. And I think it's really, actually, we looked last night when we were walking London, and there's the new Dior perfume poster in the centre of London, and that was like a spot on cub cut, right?
I know. I took a picture of it. I'll bring it to my camera so you can see.
Who was the model that they used on that? Do you remember?
It's that girl, Wednesday girl.
Of the Addams family.
Yeah. Can we get it? Can it focus? Let me get my face out of the way.
Yeah, there you go. That's the new Dior, but you've got a bit of a shine on there, Paul. But yeah.
No, that's the lights on the billboard.
Oh, the lights on the billboard. Yeah, that's better. Perfect there. So that's like a variation of the cub cut, but that is so versatile and it looks really cool. So, and I know that's something I've been a lot of in my salon anyway, and with a lot of my team, and also with my clients. You know, I like to push them on and just give them a kind of wearable hair. You know, things they could do in a heartbeat. They can do it really simply and easily, and it's low maintenance and it just lasts. When it's cut really well, it grows out really well. You know.
Yeah, and that's what I'll be doing next. I'll be doing the salon version next. I tend to do a broken down ponytail just to show how elevation and over direction works, and then I'll go into a salon version.
Sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments. I don't know if you've noticed. You guys come to the States. What comes after that?
Yeah, the girls and gays will go crazy.
Yeah, girls and gays will go crazy.
And then like a colour tour for Joico by Joico. So it won't. Well, hopefully it would be by Joico. We'd love to be supported by it, but it's something that we were also talking about. We just want to do it. We just want to come out to the States, and we want to. This is why we need salons on board to be able to sell tickets for a show. So then it gives us the ability to come out. So that's what we're looking for: salons that are big enough to hold a big enough audience, not loads, but something that will be big enough to make some great content from.
Yeah, I think we're looking at about 20 to 30 people. You know, probably 50 max. But you know, that would be very much a look and learn type of thing where we showcase the cut color content concept. But there's also an opportunity where we could sell, or we hopefully will do a seminar for 10 people, where they get very intimate, up close and personal.
Yeah, like the next day.
We share the whole content plan with them. Yeah. We share the whole cut color content. They get hands on, do the haircuts, do the colors, film it, and we go through all the whole how to set it all up as a program, which is what it's designed to look like. We've already delivered it in the UK twice here, I think. Yeah. And it's been like nobody else is doing anything like it. It's had fantastic feedback, and people want more of it. It's just getting time, mate, to do it now, isn't it?
It is getting time to do it, but as long as we've got the first thing we need is salons on board. We just need 4 salons in the States on board, and and then we can start getting the tickets ready, because what they'll probably go on is something like Eventbrite, something like that, where they can purchase them, and then once we've got it, we can get everything ready and bring it. We've already got it ready. We've got the looks and everything all ready to go. All we need is the destinations.
Yeah, we were actually filming for it this morning, weren't we? So
yeah.
So we were doing some filming for it this morning together, because we took advantage of being together in London, and you know, generally we live about 3-4 hours apart, so it's good to actually be there and get the filming done, and you know, we've got a decent amount of stuff filmed ready for that today. So where is Mark's salon? Mark, where is your salon?
In Chicago.
Oh, where's that?
Chicago?
Yeah.
Chicago.
Get lost. I can't believe you just done that to me. Chicago's I think it's one of the few places in the States I haven't been to.
Yeah.
It's kind of what's that? That's up in the northeast of the country, isn't it?
No idea, mate.
New York, Chicago.
I'm terrible with the States. It's so big.
Yeah, it's big. Yeah, I think it's up north. It's up northeast. It's up further higher up than New York.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Chicago.
Chicago. Listen to you, Chicago, and it's I think it must be up in the northeast there, above New York. I think I've got my map out. But I've done that. I've done a lot in the States actually. I've driven from Canada, from Toronto, all the way down to New York, and then all the way down to Florida, and then across to the Gulf of Mexico, and then drove all the way back up. And then I did the same thing where I went over to San Francisco and drove all the way down to San Diego, and obviously did Vegas and Phoenix and places like that while I was there. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Opera, Kanye West, Chicago Bulls. Yeah.
Bulls.
Yep. That's all happening. Sounds like the place to be.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get there, so we'll be there and it'll be even better. So, President Obama's Chicago. Is he? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Good fact. I like that. Yeah. I thought he was a Philadelphia person.
That's a quiz question, that.
Well, that's Rocky, right? That's Rocky's Philadelphia. He's Philly. And I think that, is it Matt Damon's Boston, I think, isn't he? I think maybe. Philadelphia. Sure. Well, no, anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is he on Santa? I know they mention Boston and Philadelphia quite a lot in films. So so that's covered kind of everything for today, I think. Do you not think?
Yeah, just what I want to talk about, just what the experiences from the weekend, the win.
The win was good. So the win was really good, and well done for you. The video, you're going to release that this week. Joyco news, so the new colours are coming. They come into the UK anyway, and they're already out in the States, but I'm genuinely excited to be able to use them. I'm going to be picking your brains a bit more because I need to know how to use that. And the hair trends. So you say the Vivids are really big still at the moment, looking at Colour World, seeing a lot more tone in the blondes looking more toned, and adding some more warmth to that. And those pastel-y feels, which are giving it that powdery feel of the blonde. And biggest cut at the moment, definitely the cub cut, which is blowing up off your YouTube as we speak.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Look at the moment, it's incredible. It is fantastic, to be fair. So that's episode 8, mate. All done. Wrapped.
We'll be back next Monday.
But in advance, apologies for the sound issues earlier. That was just, we don't know what it was actually, but it was a sound issue.
No.
Solved, and we were back on in no time. It only took us about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But, it was crazy. At least we could do each other on this one. So thanks again for joining. We really appreciate it. Your support means so much to us. Actually, it gives us the inspiration so that we can do more stuff. And if you ever want us to talk about a particular subject, then just drop us a mail, DM us, put a comment on the posts, and we'd love to engage with you even more. This is all about you and for us sharing as much information and knowledge as we can with you, because that's what we love to do. Sharing is caring.
Yep. Cool.
Well, mate, that's it. Let's wrap this one up, and we'll see you all next week for episode 9.
See you next week.
Peace out.